This is the first Focac Business Forum, and it saw 400 African and Chinese business people get together and ink 25 agreements worth around $16.5 billion. It's great news and a great start.
We need to industrialize our continent, we need to move up the value chain, we need to add more quality to our agriculture, and if we don't do that, we won't have a basis for expanding our trade with China, because as simple mineral commodity exporters, we're facing lower demand and reduced prices.
It's also about trade and investment in both directions.
The value of South African investments in China is bigger than the value of Chinese investments in South Africa, although there are actually more companies involved in investments from China than we have in China.
It's only really corporate South Africa, and that's relatively small in number, who've really succeeded in entering China. Think Naspers, think SCB Miller, think Standard Bank, arguably in terms of a China-Africa commercial corridor, Discovery. There's a handful of companies who have set up in China, have invested, and have built incredible businesses.
Meanwhile, the level of investment on the African continent by China, which has seen about $40 billion pumped into the infrastructure sector alone, has led to another interesting trend.
A significant, in parenthesis, unintended consequence of China's engagement of Africa in the last decade and a half, which really has been the mega trend of the continent. Chinese capital, the rapidity, the pervasiveness of that engagement, has been the almost putting Africa back on the investment map.
There's no question that the business deals and the relationships that are being struck here are going to benefit the companies involved, and ultimately it's going to help the continent. How far that spreads down the value chain remains to be seen. I'm Angelo Coppola for CCTV in Sandton, Johannesburg.